Welcome to the 285th episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by someone who just hung up after a 20-minute conversation with Mitch McConnell. It's Chronicle editor Eric Schwartz.
He's fine. He's healthy. He's speaking full sentences. He's got some great ideas.
Nothing to report here. Just another healthy octogenarian.
Looking forward to his statesmanship for many years.
Absolutely.
Is this the part where you insult a man on his deathbed like all you other libs on the internet?
Who said anything about a deathbed?
I just, you came in just giggling, chortling, all about, did you hear about Mitch McConnell? And I was like, I don't know, man. This doesn't feel a lot different than Trump bashing on John McCain after he was dead. I thought you guys were better than that. You hate hearing it from the executive, but apparently what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander in this case.
Maybe it is good for the gander.
Apparently.
Anyway, do you want to impart the nickname you came up for this?
I didn't come up with it, but I did tell you that I chuckled when I saw Rigor Tortoise had said it.
Who's laughing now?
I mean, that's just a funny play on words. I'm sorry.
That's pretty good. We're also joined in spirit by sponsors Goebel Septic, The Roof Doctor, Americool Heating and Air Conditioning, CrossCounty Mortgage with Jacek, Gillispie, and The Farm Store. Schwartz, I regret to inform you that the World Cup has ended.
I know. It's all over.
We are now the property of Belgium, which dusted the US of A 4-1 on Monday in our own home in front of all our friends.
I mean, just days after I started caring about soccer, nonetheless.
Did this feel at all like a ball don't lie situation for you?
I mean, at least it was clear one way or the other. And with the whole controversy over the red card thing, there is a part of me that just thinks maybe this is the way it should have worked out. Because if it had worked out the other way, we would still be talking about the president, how he relates to World Cup, as we talk about all things as they relate to the president.
How was your 4th of July?
It was
Forks.
Good. It was good. I did watch a lot of soccer, though. I want to note, I'm a big fan of soccer now. I've come around to it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Unfortunately, the event is over.
I'm still watching it. I will watch it. When's the final? Is it like 2 weeks left?
I don't know.
So it is over for you. You're just done caring.
I mean, I watched sparsely anyway. What was the most compelling 4th of July coverage you saw printed in your newspaper?
Oh man, we had so much good coverage. Sorry, I'm squeaking here for some reason. We had a lot of good coverage. I enjoyed Otto's photos from the PL parade. They always do a really nice job.
Right.
I enjoyed them from Summerfest as well. Those were great. And then he swang over to Stan Hedwell Park where they were having their first 4th of July event.
Oh yeah.
So those were all great. But I got to give it to Owen. Owen worked the hinterlands, as I would call it, the outer edge of the coverage area, and he went to the Vader show. Was able to track down the Rainier Brewing classic vehicle in their car show, the Red, White, and Boom car show.
Nice.
Pretty cool. And then he went to the Mossy Rock Independence Day Festival. He also went to Mossy Rock where they buried their time capsule. It's going to be opened in 50 years. And then he tied a bow on it and shot some Northern Lights photos. So those were my favorite. Owen did a great job.
All right, sweet.
How about you? Did you celebrate the 4th at all?
I know
you don't.
I did watch some fireworks out back, and
you don't enjoy this country. I'm aware.
Did some road tripping. I very much enjoyed this country. You know what? I just wanted to be great again.
Did you did fireworks? You said?
No, I just watched some out back.
I see. Oh yeah, the Watch Prairie is an underrated fireworks place.
There was some pretty big shit going on as far as fireworks in the Watch. Yeah.
Yeah, they do a good job. And then I'm told the Stan Hedwell thing was great. The only complaint I have heard of their first inaugural event is when you try to let hundreds of cars out all at the same time there, doesn't go so hot.
A bit of a log jam, it sounded like. Yeah, I saw those.
Which makes sense. There's one point of entry there and one point out. If you've ever taken your kids to play soccer there or anything, you run into that on a Saturday. So
more soccer talk.
Yeah, for like a fireworks extravaganza, you're gonna be in for a traffic jam.
All right, the big question I've been wanting to ask: How was the commissioner debate last night in Morton?
It was good. We had about 50 people on hand at the Bob Lyle Community Center. It's the first one we've done outside of the Twin Cities, I believe. Most of our stuff has been done at Jester's Auto Museum or at the TransAlta Commons in Centralia. So it was a little up in the air on what the attendance would be. I counted 50, 55.
Not bad.
Which was pretty good. There's some empty seats. We could have squeezed some more in there, but I thought it was really good. The candidates we had were the incumbent Scott Brummer, a Republican, his challenger from the right, Mike Hadler, who is a Republican and Lewis County PUD commissioner, And then from the left, Zach Eckstein, the only Democrat in the race and the Lewis County Democrats chair. As a voter and resident, I found it very interesting. I heard a lot of stuff I hadn't heard before. I think specifically to Hadler, I hadn't heard much from him directly just because he didn't make the first forum. And I don't know him. I've seen some of what he has to say out of PUD meetings and things like that. But no, it was interesting.
Was he indeed tough but fair?
His shirt did say tough but fair, so I am not going to challenge that. It's a good slogan. What do you think of that slogan?
Is Hadler tough but fair? I'm not sure.
Would it have been cooler if it was fair but tough?
Yeah.
Because I would have liked that a little bit better. No, it was good. We've got the first video up on our Facebook page, and it'll be embedded with the story on Cronline too this evening. First video is just Jacob Moore, our reporter's questions, and then we're going to do a second video of just questions from the audience. Yeah, it was interesting. One of the hot points, I guess, was... Well, not hot points, interesting points. Hadler, in his opening address, decided to address the rumor. He said there's a rumor that he can't read or write.
I thought you were kidding when you texted me that.
No. He that was what he addressed right off top, and he was reading his statement. So if there was a question, which I'm not sure that there was, he certainly displayed that he is capable of that. There was also like
Boy, the bar is getting lower and lower.
I'm not trying to insult him. I just think it was interesting. That's what he led with. Another line of questioning. It was both from Jacob and a crowd member asked about criminal histories. Eckstein and Brummer were quick to say that they have nothing. Eckstein said maybe a speeding ticket or something like that. Hadler asked if he could have their 3 minutes to discuss his own criminal history at that point, which I thought was hilarious, and I think most of the room did too. And he kind of couched it as he was a troubled child into young adulthood, in large part because of the murder of his grandparents,
right.
The Mortons, back on Christmas Eve, 1985. He noted that at one point he was suspected in that case, which really wrecked him. And then he broke down a little bit, just saying, how would you feel at that age if you were trying to figure out which one took the shotgun first, basically, and got emotional. He also, in relation to the reading and writing thing, he talked about how as a baby he was taken to the hospital with 106-degree temperature that ended up stunting his hearing a bit, and that he has the hearing of about a 70 or 80-year-old man. I think he said 70. I shouldn't have just thrown out 80, but an older person. So those were like new things from Hadler that I hadn't heard before. The actual issues were really interesting to me as well. Just some of the topics. They talked about the dam. Brummer's in favor. The other two are not. They talked about marijuana sales in the unincorporated areas. Eckstein may be in favor. The other two opposed. They talked about public sales tax. Eckstein may be in favor only if 100% of the funds go to public safety and none to the general fund. The other two opposed. So there was like, I don't know, it was a good forum in that it wasn't a debate. No one was arguing with each other, but you're able to, I think if you watch it, you're able to draw some clear lines between candidates, including the Republicans. If you're a Republican and that's the way you're going to go, you've got a couple good examples and something to start with at least. Primary's less than a month away.
God, it is interesting. All right.
But overall, I thought it was a good event.
Okay. News items?
Sure. What do you got?
All right. First up, construction of 1 million square foot Amazon building underway at the Port of Chehalis. This is at the corner of Rush Road, Jackson Highway, and they're digging it up. The port sold it to Amazon last year for $9 million, or at least most of it. I don't know. It's going to be a multi-level building to include infrastructure and space for robotics and employees. From the article, a newly constructed distribution facility featuring a full mezzanine, multiple platforms, an unoccupied robotics floor and supporting office, break locker and meeting spaces equipped with material handling equipment, conveyors, and systems for general goods distribution, reads an official project description submitted back in May. Not thrilled about all those clankers in there, got to be honest.
Yeah, well, say it while you can, my friend.
Cooking up pure evil and whatnot.
That has been logged in the AI sphere, and you will get your upping soon.
I'm sure it will. A news release.
I'm screwed. Don't worry about it.
A news release from the Port of Chehalis, published around the time of the sale, stated that the new development of the property would create between 500 and 1,000 jobs, and some of them will go to living, breathing humans. Allegedly.
I have to say a couple things. I was frustrated with this, and I don't think Jacob Moore was as much, which is good. Be a little even-tempered. But, I mean, dirt work has started on this 1 million square foot building. And up until Jacob Moore submitted public records requests to the city and to the port, I believe. No one would tell us what the hell it was. Like,
why? Why?
The port announced this last year, and it was the most lacking in details, opaque news release I've ever read in my life. And I don't mean to insult anyone because I'm sure it was fed through like Amazon. This is acceptable. Don't say this.
What's Amazon's AI thing?
What do you mean?
I'm sure
I don't know. I
don't have a
don't dabble in
AI.
AI. Yeah, I'm sure they do. But nobody would tell us. Like the port wouldn't tell us. We would call Amazon. They're like, oh, nothing. And then every day when you drive past that place, it's just bigger and bigger and bigger. So I don't know when they were planning on telling the public what was going to be in there, or if it was incumbent on the public to find out themselves. But that was frustrating to me. And I don't mind saying that to whoever was in control. Like, if you're going to do that as a public servant and you can't say, at least say, I can't say, and tell us why. The Port of Shale sold this to Amazon, so maybe there's some, like, proprietary reason there. But, I mean, give me a damn break. Like, if you're going to do something that big in public as a government entity, your answer sure as hell better be, I don't know, can't talk. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
because Amazon still wouldn't tell us. They referred us back to last year's news release, which told us jack shit. And so thankful for more, thankful for public records. The other note that I was just going to say is, leave it to Chehalis. Centralia's trying to have its own little scrap here about warehouses in, 100,000 square feet size and larger. And they're just doing the Dr. Evil and just like, what about a 1 million square foot warehouse?
An entire floor for robots.
Can't even let Centralia have the largest building in the coverage area with UNFI. You got to build your own monstrosity.
Well, we'll see. I'll believe it when it's finished.
Yeah, of course. I know you remain skeptical of all buildings until they are, built and occupied for
and
at
even
least
then, like,
for at least a decade. You're not even
see it.
You're not even sure on the Lewis County Courthouse yet. I'm sure if it exists or not.
I have questions. Yeah,
I understand.
All right, next item. Annual SDP bike ride expected to bring 6,000 bicyclists to Western Washington roads this weekend, to which I say, shit, it's SDP weekend already. This is our mayor's Super Bowl,
Yeah, that's right. Chris Brewer. Yeah, he's got to be jacked for this. I didn't even think about that.
How are you gonna cover it? Are you gonna send a reporter out to write it? I feel like that hasn't been done since Marquise, Damien, maybe.
I mean, Otto Robbie, our photographer, talked about it, but at this point, I don't think that's going to happen. Marquise did it. Our good mayor did it. Chris Brewer, when he worked for the Chronicle, when he was a reporter. I don't know. I don't know that we're going to have a new and exciting way of covering it. I'll probably ask photographers to make sure they get some photos of them on the road, out and about.
Yeah.
I guess what we haven't had someone do here yet is do the one day all the way through. Is that something you think you would be capable of, Aaron?
No,
not
right now. I haven't ridden a bicycle in some time.
So
I'm sure I could ride a bicycle.
You don't know how to ride a bike, do you?
I don't know how to ride.
You never learned. That's okay. That happens. The other thing this weekend, because I don't think it's on your notes, so we can just shoehorn it in here, is Toledo Cheese Days begins.
Oh, nice.
On
Cheese
Thursday.
Days.
And that goes through Sunday, which kind of segues a little bit, because last night we had Ridley, which I think I can announce here now. Sadly, Ridley will be departing for going back to school at the end of July. So for those of you who enjoy Ridley Hudson like myself, very sad time.
Yeah.
But after the debate, she worked all day, went to that forum out in Morton, which wrapped up about 8:30. She busted over to Toledo and joined the gang as they went about hunting for frogs in the swamp for the
frog races.
The frog races. The frog jumping is what they call it. But so she just has these delightful photos of these boat-bound Toledo men just like in headlamps with flashlights, just snatching these frogs. Really, really good photos. We've talked about doing this for years and years and years, and Ridley finally did it. It's not her swan song, but another cool thing for her to do on the way out.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, it starts Thursday, July 9th. Let's see. The theme for this year is for the love of country and cheese.
Okay.
Which is good, right, for the 250th. And then the big cheeses, these are the grand marshals.
Of course.
Alan and Ardith Crawford.
Okay. Good for them.
Yeah. So there's a full schedule at Cronline, but get on down to Cheese Days. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Next item. Thrifty Throwdown. Lewis County Public Health gets creative with WIC benefits. This is framed as a competitive potluck, and county employees were invited to bring meals to the public health building that were made using recipes relying entirely on food purchased using WIC benefits. WIC is like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, but it's only available to pregnant women and mothers of kids under 5, and it's more restrictive about what foods you can get. Now, according to you, these recipes should all be gruel or boiled cabbage, correct?
No, that's not correct.
Anyway.
I have no problem with people getting whatever they want, honestly. Okay. If that's your bracket and you need some help, get whatever you want.
Unless it's pregnant women.
I find it messed up if you have kids and you're not able to buy them something sweet. Buy them something sweet. You should be able to.
They had 10 dishes prepared by county employees, including the winner, a Mexican-style tuna salad sandwich, and other meals like cowboy caviar and hummus and avocado deviled eggs. Sounds pretty good. WIC helps about 1,600 people in Lewis County, and I just wanted to shout this out. It sounded like a cool event.
You know, it seemed like a rare case of the government allowing its employees to be creative and show a little ingenuity with a project like this. And I liked that Moore talked to the employees that were able to work on it. And I agree, it was a very cool thing. It immediately made me think this, though, and this is a little inside baseball, but do you think you and I could do the same thing going back to the old days to three-week pay periods? Do you remember the Chronicle days where there, for some reason, and we found out later, I'm not going to mention the HR director's name, we found out that it was unnecessary torture, but us basically, not even basically, minimum wage reporters in the early aughts.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times a year?
Yeah, 2 or 3 times a year. You're, for no reason whatsoever, you would have to go 3 weeks before a paycheck, but instead of 2. Yeah. And so my menu item in this case is something I actually remember eating, which was corn dogs from the gas station that had been in there a little long. And then I seasoned them with some Taco Bell mild sauce that was in my drawer, and that was my lunch. I ate that 3 days in a row to get through the rest of a 3-week pay period in order to have money again back there in about 2008 or so.
During those 3-week pay periods, I would often call my mother and ask if she wanted to go to lunch.
See, there you go. Those were torturous times.
Yeah, and totally unnecessary.
Exactly. So as soon as we got a new HR director, and I can mention her name because that's Mary Jackson. We all love her.
Yeah.
As soon as she came in, she was just I think I remember saying, I have no idea why they were doing that to you guys.
Well, and the worst thing, if you were, I was an editor at that point, so I was salary.
Yeah.
So my 3-week pay period just resulted in the same paycheck.
Right.
Which was slightly above minimum wage, but not by a lot.
But that's the ultimate thing, that back then, that is what the rich, and in my opinion at the time, editors would complain when we were another 3-week pay period. They'd be like, oh, we actually have it worse than you. And we're like, oh, yeah, you make $11.50 an hour? Is that what's going on here, Brian Mitke? No, I'm just joking. That was oddly personal. Just kidding. But I do remember thinking that.
Yeah, but when that 3-week pay period hit,
oh
boy,
it was a boon for the downtown Centralia bar scene.
Whiskey and Coke? No, Jack and Coke tonight, my man.
It's going to be Jack Daniels this evening. So, but yeah, I thought the WIC thing was great, though. That was when Jacob Moore told me about it. I thought, okay, I guess we'll do it. It's a favor to whoever asked Jacob Moore. But after I actually wrote it up and saw the photos, that was a great thing. I threw it out on the front page for fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
I put that on the front page the same day as the anti-income tax people filed their stuff. Mm-hmm. So, in your mind, we have rich people don't want to pay taxes and poor people want to eat. Same page.
Yeah, great.
I thought it was a good mix.
What an act of balancing by you.
I try.
Next item, you got a profile on Scott. Well, not a profile, but just a story on Scott Brummer. Lewis County Commissioner Scott Brummer says experience and values set him apart from challengers. To which I say, huge win for the challengers.
I don't agree.
He faces 4 challengers in his which District 3? Mm-hmm. Okay, in the race for Lewis County Commissioner District 3. Including fellow Republicans Mike Hadler and Tim Torber, Democrat Zach Eckstein, and independent candidate Kyle Wheeler. Wheeler and Torber were not at the thing Monday, right?
No, but we've previously written an article about Torber's candidacy, and then Kyle Wheeler, he did not like that the invitation to the forum was sent via, I don't remember if it was Corley or Chad's, but their silveragency.com email rather than Cronline. Mm-hmm. The last one he said it was because it was too early and filing week hadn't happened yet. I don't want to cast any aspersions. Those are his reasons, and those are fine. But we did get an interview with him. He made himself available very quickly, and we'll have an article about his candidacy in the weekend edition.
Oh,
trying to be fair, since he did not find it appropriate to be at the event.
All right. Brummer calls himself a property rights advocate, a proponent of small government, and a supporter of keeping tax increases to a minimum, but he believes it is now his experience that sets him apart from his challengers. He also talked about the lawsuit the county lost to Gather Church, which cost the county hundreds of thousands of dollars. He said, I believe that we were addressing a problem in our local community. You didn't address it. And we did so with very sound legislation, not that sound, that was ultimately overturned. That's a judge, in my opinion, legislating from his bench. Not a single regret from this small government lower taxes fella in passing an illegal rule that resulted in a big old pile of taxpayer money getting pissed away. Surely it was a one-time event, though.
You got to get tired of ranting the same one every week.
Well,
I think he doesn't get tired
money.
of backing it because he still believes that it was a good measure to pass, and I believe he must think that the people that are voting for him agree with him, or else I'm sure he would jump off of that hill very quickly and not die by 1,000 stabs from your sharp words every time it comes up.
He didn't have much of an answer on the public safety tax question, although maybe he did in the forum.
He more or less said he wants a new sheriff to get in there, and then once people are confident in how the money is going to be spent, then I think he also might have echoed what Zach Eckstein said, but that was his original point as far as it needs to be locked in that this money isn't going to be used to backfill the general fund. And
I think that's fair.
All goes to deputies and public safety, because otherwise, if people pass this tax and you just use it to shore up the budget, then anyways, that's the point.
It was fun to learn that he's a dirty evergreener, too.
Is he really? I didn't retain that
Went
item.
to Evergreen to study fish science, something along those lines.
He was a biologist.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. And then there's another candidate story. Lewis County Chief Deputy Coroner Chelsea Nimchek says she is ready to lead the office. She volunteered at Stickland Mortuary starting at the age of 14. Now she wants Warren McLeod's job, although it sounds like they are very cordial at work and professional. She's the Chief Deputy Coroner for Warren McLeod, the Republican who is seeking re-election. How many terms has he had? 3? 2, 3? He's been there a while.
I think 3, but I could be wrong.
The two are joined in the race by candidate Jessica Stickley, who, like Nimchik, is running as an independent.
It might be 4 candidates, or four terms, actually. Go on.
She was endorsed by the Lewis County Democrats, although she is independent. She knows there's not a ton of wiggle room given the laws around checking out the dead, but thinks the office could do a better job of communicating and public outreach. How do you feel about a public office doing a better job of communicating?
I think that'd be great. I must say I have not had an issue with the coroner's office. That's not an election take. I just have made hay about the sheriff's office, and I want to say the coroners, they've been very responsive to us each and every time we've reached out to them. It has not been a point of frustration once.
All right. This podcast is brought to you by Goebel Septic, The Roof Doctor, Americool Heating and Air Conditioning, CrossCounty Mortgage with Jacek Gillispie, and The Farm Store. Would you like to go to segments?
Sure.
Okay. First up, Tales from the Takes page. First up, we have a column from Sean Swope.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to grab that.
Now, I have a question for you before I read this headline.
Okay.
Did this come attached to the column, or did you craft this headline yourself?
It was kind of a mixture. I definitely didn't use the original headline, but I probably used most or part of it. But
did you write The Birth of a Nation?
I don't think I did, but I don't think it's in reference to what you're about to make the leap to.
I'm not an editor anymore, but maybe run that last chunk of the headline through an AI machine one more time. It's kind of a phrase with a bit of history, which I will impart now.
We all know what the birth of a nation is, yes. Not one commenter stepped forward to make that case, but I had full confidence that you would.
The first thing that comes up when you Google the phrase birth of a nation is not, in fact, this column, but a more overtly offensive...
You mean the last 3 words of this column don't pull it up in a search bar?
But a more overtly offensive piece of historical fiction, D.W. Griffith's 1915 silent film set in the Reconstructionist South that relies on a whole bunch of racist stereotypes. From Wikipedia, the 1915 blockbuster film The Birth of a Nation directly inspired the reconstitution of the Ku Klux Klan. The original Klan had been dissolved in the 1870s, but the film's romanticized portrayal of the group as valiant heroes rescuing the South sparked its revival. I'm not going to go into the content of the column, which I did not read.
Thank you for explaining to me something that I told you several moments ago. I knew exactly what it was and that no one else made that leap in logic. I'm not surprised. I know you've got a bit of a hard-on for this particular author. Figurative, not literal, I think.
This podcast is not entirely me talking to you, but also to our listeners.
Also not entirely you talking about Sean Swope.
I didn't criticize the content.
The column was fine. It was a 2-part column, and he just wanted to write about the founding of the nation. I thought it was good, and most people thought it was fine. It was what it was. It wasn't contentious. It was not a dog whistle to any racist film, modern or otherwise. But man,
well, the thing about dog whistles
really
is not everybody hears them.
You really settled on that one. That's just a jump, man.
I mean, I thought so myself, and so I Googled it just to see what the first thing that came up
I
is.
just guarantee you, I would bet any amount of money that if anyone else's name was in front of this, you would have not made that leap. You would have not written bars about it.
If Wayne Fournier would have done it, I would have done the same thing.
No way.
Yes, I would have.
No way. I know that your daily Cronline search begins with Sean Swope,
it most certainly does not.
And then you start the notes from there. And if they're not there, we just don't podcast that week.
I didn't even mention was this part 2? Part 1?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I thought, editor of the paper might know these things.
They were fine. There was nothing wrong with it.
I'm not saying there was. I'm sure there were.
I enjoyed it as someone who has gone on the record, though not on the published record, as saying I've watched a lot of documentaries about the Revolutionary War lately.
Okay.
I found it accurate, and I approve.
All right. Maureen Harcum. Thoughts on raw milk from the child of a dairy farm.
I love this one.
I enjoyed this a lot myself. She writes, I grew up drinking raw milk. I never questioned whether it was safe or not, but there are circumstances that made it more safe for me and my family than for many other people. And then she goes on to give a reasonable explanation for why she drank raw milk and why her dad, a veterinarian, didn't let their farm workers take the raw milk home to their families. And she explains pasteurization. Mm-hmm. And her take is, drink whatever the hell you want, but know what you're getting into. Which I was like, you know what? Perfect. Nothing but respect for my Dairy Queen.
She is great. She's the first person I have ever seen editorially or like on the news side to write about raw milk without really upsetting anyone. She had like a good preface in there. It was like, believe it or not, I don't care. Have your own opinion. Drink the raw milk. Shit your pants. I don't care. Basically, yeah, that she's just exposed to all of the bacteria growing up on the farm and that she, never had a problem with it. Loved the stuff.
Well, her take is basically, I drank it, but Maureen built different.
Yeah, that's the column. I thought it was. You'll never find me hating on a Maureen Harcum column.
Even when I disagree with her, I agree with, and I don't disagree with her take here at all.
No,
I agree with her.
It's a very measured take. I can't wait to find out what she writes about next. She's always asking for ideas. So as a farm adjacent boy like yourself, you're always welcome to throw out some ideas about agriculture. If you're a listener and you have an agriculture column idea for Maureen Harcum, go ahead and email us and I'll pass it on to her. So far, she's like 100% on going through on a suggestion.
And then we've got a column from McCroskey. Phrase for sheriff, Stickley for coroner, and Braun for Congress. Yeah, this is good.
Just slinging the endorsements.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. This is what I like to see McCroskey doing. He's got his takes. He's got his faves. Good. And then letter to the editor, claims of Swope and Murphy incompatible. I thought this was interesting. And I know you're going to jump up and be like, oh, yeah.
I have done all my for this podcast. I'm done.
The writer says that at a candidate forum, Tracy Murphy said he'd never talked to anyone about the allegations that SNAZA was doing drug ring protection. And then on AM radio program, Let's Talk About It with host Chad Taylor? Is that his name?
No, I think it was just, he does host the show, but I think this one was just Sean. I could be wrong.
Well, I think the letter writer mentioned Chad in there.
Oh, okay. That's highly
on
possible.
that episode, Sean Swope said he had heard about the allegations from Tracy Murphy. And this letter writer writes, but that means someone's not telling the truth. But who could it be? Perennial truth stretcher Sean Swope or the guy fired for being a cop for lying about this very thing? I don't know.
Okay, and I don't know if that's what Brad Reynolds, the letter writer, meant to write it as, but that is the tone in which I read it. It was like, this seems like it felt like a little, poking the fire a little bit, try to get the sparks going, see what was happening.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. I saw that Swope is currently commenting on this very topic in other corners of the internet. go check out his Facebook page if you want to see. But
the Murphy thing.
Yeah.
What's his take?
I think Brittany Voy wrote a column about it, and he was sharing in long writing on the post. I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing.
Interesting.
Yet, but it seems like if you're interested in this letter to the editor, that would be the next logical stop.
I would genuinely be interested to see what his take on the Murphy thing is.
Yeah.
History should repeat itself. A look back in time. Suspect found in closet during Prohibition-era raids. I liked this one. From 1926, Centralia man John C. Miller was found hiding in a closet and arrested for violating the Volstead Act, also known as Prohibition, after Thurston County Sheriff Claude Havens and his deputies discovered an illegal distillery with mash and liquor near Rochester, one of multiple booze raids the deputies carried out that week. From the story, returning Friday morning, they saw a man running across the prairie. Concluding he had gone into the A.M. Martin home, they visited that place and finally located Miller hiding in a clothes closet. He was taken to jail.
I think he was just clutching his bottles in there.
Probably.
Just trying to down him.
You'll never get me.
I won't go sober.
Wednesday night, Havens and deputies visited the roadhouse conducted by Dora Reeder and found a note on the door stating she had gone to Tom Owens' place in Bucota. No. So after inspecting Dora's place and confiscating about 15 gallons of alleged wine, you know what? I don't think they had a warrant. And 6 gallons of beer, they visited Owens' place where Dora had directed them and found a real party with 100 bottles of brew. Owen and Dora were taken into custody. Justice for John Miller, a closeted beer baron. You know what?
That just sounds awful. I mean, it's hard for me to put myself in that place historically, but I think I shared with you from my documentary, George Washington had the nation's largest whiskey distillery upon his death.
And they said he wasn't the king.
How did we get to this place? I get it. Alcohol is very damaging, causes lots of problems.
Sirens banger of the week. I just put 2 headlines on here, and you have a good one. Man under arrest tried to pose as a person already in Thurston County jail. Police say,
that's tough luck, man.
Yeah. And then, does she have a crab in her bra? Washington officers say 4 people hid 21 crabs in their clothing.
That one was pretty funny because I grabbed the video from the WDFW police beforehand. This is a Oregonian story that you quote there. But yeah, I mean, they were just they had video of them just shoving crab into all possible orifices, which I believe we saw this the other week with clams, right? Like this is a popular...
I feel like clams would be a lot safer
than crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had like secret compartments and everything. And I guess they were confused too because they were taking like undersized crabs.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, anyways, that one was kind of funny. The one I have is a Centralia woman allegedly pointed a revolver at teens for lighting fireworks, fired it into the ground. 73-year-old Connie MacArthur is charged with 2 counts of second-degree assault with a deadly weapon. This is after basically an incident where this is up on Seminary Hill in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Some kids were, and you can go read the nuances of the affidavit, but some kids were shooting off some fireworks. She yelled at them. One of them said something smart. She was basically like, "Oh, you think you're funny?" and pulled out a gun, allegedly pointed in their direction. They ran. As they were running, they heard a shot fire out. It sounds like the kids thought it had been shot into the woods, but she, who was very cooperative when police showed up, showed them the gun, and then she was eventually arrested on Monday, I think. But yeah, not something you see every day. Don't pull a gun in that situation, right?
No, like you call, I don't know, the authorities.
It just makes you like, if she's 73 years old, is this her first time ever pointing a gun at someone, and she chose it to be the smart ass fireworks kids? I'm sure whatever the kids said was probably very smart ass, right?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I've got children. They anger me all the time with their quips.
What are you gonna do? Shoot us?
Exactly. Bang. Yeah. So it was a classic. The teenager, according to the affidavit, the caller said he and his friend had been lighting fireworks from a wooden guardrail post when an older female approached them from a nearby home and began yelling at them. The teenager said he replied yes when the woman asked if they thought they were being funny. And according to the affidavit, the teenager said the woman responded by saying something like, "I'll show you what's funny." And the woman pulled the revolver from her waistband and pointed it at the teenagers, who ran away.
It's not that funny.
No, it's not funny at all.
All right. People's Champion of the Week. I've got Deputy City Manager of Centralia, Amy Buckler, who is moving on. She's taken a job with the State Department of Commerce, where she'll be the Assistant Director of the Housing Division. She writes, over the past 3 years, I have been privileged to work with this community on so many projects, from planting trees to improving sports facilities at Boris Park to the United Learning Center, other projects in downtown and beyond. Centralia will always be in my heart, and I'm excited for what comes next for this charming little city.
That's a good one. I think for anyone who's involved with any of the downtown groups or civic organizations already knows she's been a huge part of advancing like the United Learning Center, any range of things over the past several years. She was acting city manager for a long time. If you recall, when we went to the Summerfest organization meeting, the one year we were invited in 2024, she was there representing the city. So I've saw nothing but good wishes and fond farewells from everyone for Amy Buckler. So I think that's a great choice.
All right. Facebook comments. I've only got a couple I'll read. On the Amazon warehouse story, this commenter writes, then what's going on at Harrison? Like, what? You think that was going to be part of the story?
I mean,
that's
the LPC, one of their warehouses.
And then this guy writes, I believe you're mistaken on the original owner. Puget Western owned the majority of this property and sold it to Amazon. The port only owned 30 acres, which they also sold to Amazon last year. Look forward to seeing how they mitigate the flooding that happened on the port's 30 acres.
Oh, that's interesting.
So do I.
I should run that by Jacob, though. I mean, I'm sure he'll want to correct that if it's wrong.
On a post about firefighters rescuing a deer from a roof, somebody writes, I really want to know how it got up there. How the hell do you think it got up there?
No, I mean, no. No. First, did you look at the photos?
Yes.
How did that baby deer get up there?
Jumped.
The baby deer jumped onto the roof.
Yeah. How else do you think it got up there?
I mean, I don't know. I assume I didn't see a front look. So this must be a house that's against a hill, right? And that otherwise. I mean, I don't know about your. I know you have a great knowledge of Lewis County commissioners writing about the Revolutionary War, but I don't know about your knowledge of baby deer and their ability to jump that high to the roof of a house. High. So you think a baby deer jumping 8 to 10 feet, no problem? Yeah. I feel like you are giving a lot of credit to baby deer.
How else do you think the deer got up there?
That's what I was saying. It must be a house against a hillside. If you follow me here, like so, and it was like a crossways just walked across onto the roof.
Yeah, maybe. That's or maybe it jumped.
You will never know. It probably teleported up there.
We will never know.
Like that FEMA guy.
And then, oh God, I forgot about him. Great.
He got fired.
On the Chelsea Nimchick coroner story, this commenter writes, I firmly believe that being independent of the sheriff's political views will significantly improve coroner's reports. There's been far too much in question with regard to LCSO investigations for my liking. A clean, independent coroner's report is crucial. That is from Austin's sister, Ott Ferrier.
Yeah, I mean, we wrote about some of the, I'm not going to say discrepancies, but some of the controversies regarding not just the investigation, which is famous now, but also the handling of Aaron Christensen's body after his death, and also the dog. That was another big part of it, was entrance wounds, exit wounds, cause of death, all of that stuff. So, interesting.
Listener mail. Dear News Dump, as one of your many followers, I am appalled to learn that we were deprived of an episode because someone simply forgot to hit publish. A week off in this economy? I believe the only appropriate compensation is an immediate emergency episode. No preparation necessary. Just turn on the microphones and start talking. Frankly, that appears to be the format anyway. Okay, calm down. Your dozens of followers are counting on you to provide background podcast episodes while doing things we have been avoiding. Fair.
Yeah, all of it.
Any news we missed that you want to highlight?
Yeah, there's a fairly big one this afternoon. Chehalis tribal chairman Dustin Klatouche has resigned. It was confirmed this afternoon. I don't know that happened today. He was our 2025 Person of the Year. Previously served as commissioner for the Chehalis Tribal Gaming Commission. Also on the Chehalis Tribal Housing Board. We don't know the reason for his resignation, but the most recent reporting we have done on the former chairman was the incident down in Arizona, allegations stemming from a social media post describing alleged behavior by Klatouche and 4 other identified men inside a store in Chandler. Basically was giving the woman who worked there a hard time, was the allegation. I didn't hear anything more beyond that. The last time we had heard anything in terms of an announcement was on June 2nd when the tribe said we have heard from many concerned people and that we are going to look into the situation. So That's all we know. And we didn't get anything from the tribe other than just a confirmation that he had resigned. So,
okay.
But, relatively big news.
I'm looking at the homepage, and the lead photo on the forum story from last night is Mike Hadler asleep?
No, he's not asleep. Stop with your casting of aspersions.
I'm not casting of aspersions.
You wouldn't question if Zach Eckstein were asleep.
If he looked like that, I would.
He's resting with his arms crossed. He's seated comfortably. He's commanding the room, Aaron. I don't know what else you want out of this.
He looks very comfortable.
What are your thoughts of Brummer in the photo? My chosen lead photo.
Brummer looks...
he looks like he's staring at Jacob Moore off camera.
He looks kind of like the principal from Back to the Future.
We have other stories. Feds charged 2 suspects for string of pharmacy burglaries that included Centralia and Chehalis.
Good.
These 2 gents, what they had tried to break into Centralia Pharmacy, did break into Chehalis Pharmacy. But those are just a list of like dozens of pharmacies they hit up, going for pills, opiates, Adderall, anything they can get their hands on, really. Which is great that they got them, but it did remind me, and I had to send Jacob Farmer. I don't know if you recalled my piece on the drugstore cowboy back in the day.
Yeah.
The dude that I think I had Carl Buster, the detective, bring me over there, just tell me I was going to catch this guy. Sawed into the side of the old Hall's Pharmacy. There's a Matt Dillon movie, or a movie where he's played by Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
It brought me back to that. But these guys were just breaking in the front door. It looks like they weren't doing anything like that. Support sought for Toledo woman. This is an older woman in Toledo. Her house was destroyed on Monday after an oxygen tank explosion. She's hospitalized in very serious condition. I can't remember if it was critical condition, but there's a fundraiser to try to raise some money because absolutely everything she owned was lost in the fire. All her photos, mementos, absolutely everything. Prosecutor's office unseats Winlock City Councilor Jeremy Allman as county commissioner, seek replacement. This is an interesting new one to me. So he ran against this other guy. And if I missed this, it's all in the story, so go read it. Don't take my word for it. But
Thomas Robinson.
Yeah, ran against Thomas Robinson. Thomas Robinson wins, I believe. But then it's determined Thomas Robinson didn't live in the area, so he is removed. And the Winlock Council was like, well, Allman's already a city councilor prior to this, so they just appoint him. He came in second. That makes sense. All of that makes sense to me, except for the law. It doesn't make sense. You have to do that within 90 days, and the law says if the winning candidate's out, it doesn't automatically mean that number 2 moves on. So now, because of the timelines are all past the 90 days, the prosecutor's office said the commissioners will have to take volunteers. So if you're in Winlock and you want to be a city councilor, go to Cronline and search Winlock, and you will see how you can apply to become the next city councilor.
So, what are the odds that the commissioners just appoint Allman? It seems like
I don't know. That's kind of what I said too. And Allman thinks, according to reporting by Owen Sexton, that the prosecutor, so the county's timeline, has also expired, which I don't know if this applies to cities, but I know for counties, then it would go to the governor's office. And if that's the case, I mean, it doesn't say that in the story, but then we're really talking to shit. Who's Bobby Ferguson going to pick?
What if Ferguson just shows up at a Winlock City Council meeting and points into the crowd and goes, you, and then leaves?
Or it's like a Willy Wonka situation, and you meet him at the governor's office, and he leads you through a range of things, and whoever wins is the new city councilor for Winlock.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And you inherit the governor's mansion.
In something that has nothing to do with racism and birth of the nation, Lewis County celebrates America 250 with dedication of founding document replicas. They also had a group of young fiddlers in there to play some music. There was a young Voteberg dressed as George Washington. It looked like a really fun event, a nice local way to celebrate America 250. And then today we also sent... Ridley and Emily went up to the Capitol where they were doing a reading of the Declaration of Independence, which I learned via NPR. They were doing it at capitals all across the country and at sites across the world today because while the Declaration was signed on July 4th, no one heard about it until the 8th, the first time it was read. Guess the founders were just holding it close at that time, making sure they really wanted to turn.
Just like that.
Get into safety. Get into their whiskey in some cases, George Washington.
Just like that Amazon information,
Yeah, sure, why not? That's good enough. That's the gist of the news.
All right, we can wrap it up there. In closing, we're sponsored by Goebel Septic, The Roof Doctor, Americool Heating and Air Conditioning, CrossCountry Mortgage with Jacek, Gillispie, and The Farm Store. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts if you want, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.